What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It's your girl, Miss Honey. Happy Wednesday. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful hump day. You guys already know what this is. If it's Wednesday, we're talking about Greenleaf. This is episode 10, The Promised Land. The Promised Land. This episode, we get to see May again. Last week was all about Bishop and all the people he was going to talk to and help, namely Lionel, or forgive, namely Lionel. Um, this episode, we get to see Bishop floating around the church. He does look a little off center. He looks like he's trying to find his place, mainly because Patty Patterson is there, and she's there to support May, and she's fluttering around the church, and he feels squeezed out by her and May's alliance and friendship. So we get to see May in her element. Of course, they are all about planning this whole Lady May Day that they have coming on. And Patty Patterson is all about boosting Lady May up. She is May's Percy. What Percy is to Bishop in terms of putting Bishop down and big up in May. That's what Patty is doing. She is not necessarily giving May the best advice in terms of reconciliation with her husband, working things out, which is supposed to be the Christianly thing to do. And in my opinion, they haven't really tried to work it out. It's been a series of spiteful, vengeful, angry filled moments which has led them to getting to being divorced. And everybody's just talking about it and throwing it around like, saying like they went on vacation, like how was honeymoon or something. Like it's divorce. Like they're divorced. It's anyway, so everybody's just buzzing around like everything is, everything. Um so let's talk first about Zora. Zora is in Atlanta with Isaiah. Isaiah's supposed to be this record star. He's on the radio. And all the ladies are supposed to love him. Evidently, this album that he's got coming out is supposed to be a gospel album. He, I, Let me just say this about this episode. It was a lot of forced, rushed storylines. I know people may not agree with me on that. Most of my honeybees, I think, will agree that this episode was just, there's only 3 episodes left, if I'm not mistaken. And it just seemed like this episode 10 wasn't as thoughtfully planned or written. It wasn't as fluid as episode 9, which is Runaway Train Bishop's episode. This episode just seems like everybody was running around trying to cover the loose ends, get us prepared for the end of the season. You know what I mean? There wasn't any details. It was just a bunch of information dropped. Isaiah is supposed to be this record, this pop religious star, I guess. I guess this is a religious album that he has. He's at the radio station and Zora is there with him. People are calling in, mostly women. He's on the phone. He's not claiming Zora when the girls call in and coming on to him and wanting to slip into his DMs and wanting to come. When you gonna do another tour? I'm like, another tour? Come on, he's just living at his parents' house for 3 weeks, right? But now you on tour and you got your second album coming out. Like, I don't get it. Then somebody called into the radio station and asked about what happened at the mansion and on that live, and he was like, everything, who was that girl? Everything's everything. And Zora gets upset And she he gets mad because she gets a text, email alert from Spellman. Now, where she get a phone from? Is that her phone? Is that his phone? She's sitting there holding his jacket. Whose phone is that? And he tells her, you've been messing up a lot lately. And you can tell there's this aggressive overtone when she gets an email alert while he's doing the radio broadcast. He looks at her real angrily and she's all frightened. I'm so sorry. I made a mistake later on afterwards. You've been messing up a lot lately. And she confronts him a little bit later after she brings him a piece of cake about him talking why you don't claim me in front of the other girls and you talking to other girls and they thirsty and all that and what be so bad about me going to Spelman. Yeah, too bad you can't go to Spelman. Why can't I go to Spelman? Did you come here for me or did you come here for Spelman? And he knocks the cake off on the floor, talking about, I'm watching my carbs. She's walking around on eggshells, but this the house that Jack built. Okay, this your bed, Sophia. Zora, this your bed. So you might as well go ahead and lay on down. Okay, lay on down and deal with it. Later on, when he's asleep, she's sneaking and checking her. You same thing you was doing when you was living in your grandmama's house and living in your mama's house. What's the difference? Okay, Jacob is your actual daddy. You run around here treating this boy like he your daddy. He got you on punishment like he your daddy. You can't talk. You can't have your own phone. You got to sneak and check. You might as well be back at your granny's house if you ask me. Anyway, she walking on eggshells. This is her life now. So let's see, Grace. Grace is working hard to get Coralie off. We don't hear from Sophia. She calls Darius because she got a sinking suspicion about Rochelle Cross. And she want to bring Darius in on it. Darius, I'm going to need your help. Do me a favor. So now she done got her a little tidbit of information. She got Darius on the lookout for the information. He called him a cop friend of his. I was like, okay, Grace. All right, girl. So, like I said, she tried to help Coralie out. She got Rochelle there. Rochelle is taking over everything from Grace, including Coralie. She got Coralie eating out the palm of her hand. They got a lawyer there, a good-looking man. A good-looking man. He's so all fired sure that he could get her off. I was like, I don't know no lawyer that can give you a guarantee of anything. As a matter of fact, I think it's against their board of ethics for him to even commit that he gonna get you off scot-free. All right, but anyway, she look at Grace and Grace gives her the okay. She look at Rochelle and Rochelle give her the okay. You playing with people's lives, Grace. Who are these people? Who are the people you working with? Who is this woman you gotten out of jail? Girl, you need to, I can't believe you haven't vetted these people out better than this, Grace, but whatever. Later on, we see where Grace get this information from Darius, and he finds 3 Rochelles in the whole state. And it can't be but this one Rochelle. So he takes her by this house, this foster house, where these 2 sisters supposedly have grown up. They go by the house. There's a white woman there. I answer the door. I don't know why I mentioned her color. It's not even important. But anyway, it's a white woman. Y'all Jehovah Witnesses, when they pull up and they ask her about Rochelle Cross. She don't know who that is. Oh, they were sisters, and she don't know them by name, but she know by the fact that they were sisters, older sisters. But their name wasn't Cross; it was James, I believe. So from this, she realizes and recognizes conversation-wise that this is Basie Skank's sister and brother James, who got burnt out in that church. Skanks' daddy, this his son, this his daughter. Okay, and so of course she got to make a beeline to tell Bishop, but we're gonna talk about it. So let's talk about Jacob. Jacob has they brought in a new accountant. Good looking man, good looking man. Pants is a little snug for you to be working in church. You can't be walking around all bulbous like that, sir. You got to let them pants out just a little bit. When you walk around that church full of middle-aged single women, now you can't be out here with your pants tight like that. But good looking man. He African French. I can hear a little. Anyway, he done found these accounts. $200,000 missing. When Kerissa go in there to greet the man, he lets her know he been checking things out, and this is what he's discovered. So when Kerissa go in to see Jacob, to tell Jacob about this, ask him about it, he don't know nothing about it. He confused. He going through the paperwork to my, I think she had me sign something there. Really? Really? You don't remember anything? It's all a fog. Huh? It's all a fog. Like you was caught in a spell of some sort. Mm-hmm. He's shuffling the papers back. Well, I don't understand what. Yeah, really? Really? Do you know who you are right now? Do you know where you are right now? How many fingers am I holding up, Jacob? You don't know nothing? So he said, let me call him. Kerissa say, I'll take care of it. I'll handle it. So she gets all the papers up and she goes to call Tasha. When she get to calling Tasha, Tasha laying up in her condo and she drinking Jack Daniels Tennessee whiskey and crying. And on the laptop, she ignoring calls from Jacob. Now he called right away to try to talk to her, but she ignoring calls from him. When Kerissa called, however, she pick up the phone. So she pick up the phone and get Kerissa. And please don't be mad at me. She's supposed to be just in such a drunken state. Now, listen, let me tell y'all something. Whiskey ain't no joke. Unless you got a relationship with whiskey, okay? Unless you got a long-standing relationship with whiskey and you know how to handle that joker, I promise you, you will not be standing up straight talking right. You will not be able to do it, okay? No. And you drinking it straight from the bottle, just taking it straight to the head. Girl, not no Tennessee whiskey. I know you're not. I know you're not. That ain't nothing but iced tea in there. You so drunk. Oh, hey, please don't be mad. Mad at you for what, girl? I'm just calling to ask you about the counts. It was just a kiss. See what I'm saying? Y'all trying to tighten these storylines up. I don't like it. I don't like that rushed effort. I don't like it. I don't like the way it was done. Even if it was gonna be done in this episode, I don't think it was right the way y'all did it. It was kind of rushed. It was real Tyler Perry-ish. I don't like it. And Kerissa was like, "Is this why you left Triumph? Is this why? And please, why are you calling me so angry? Just answer my question, Tasha." Tasha hangs up. I was like, girl, if you don't get your stage. Anyway, it was very contrived. Very, very contrived. So of course Kerissa goes stomping into Jacob's office when she flung that door open like Lady May. When Lady May went in there to confront Bishop about telling Grace her secret, she flung that door open and stomped over the. Here's the thing. She should be angry. She should definitely be angry. She should be upset. She should let him have it. But we're seeing a pattern of Kerissa continuing. When something goes wrong, she likes to tear him down. We saw that when the house had electricity problems and that type of thing. We get to see her continually tear him down, and it's wearing him thin. It's wearing him thin. Every time something goes wrong, she tears at his character. And not that he has the greatest of character, but some of the stuff she says is so belittling and demeaning. You're supposed to be the tent pole of the family, but you're just a twig. You're not even a twig. You're a puddle. You're a weak little puddle of a man. I was like, girl. He gonna end up slapping your face and shaking you real hard. He gonna end up leaving you. Even if y'all get all this money back and Zora back and all of this stuff, he gonna end up moving on because a man needs to be lifted up. You cannot continually tear him down. I'm not saying Jacob is right. I'm not saying he doesn't he doesn't have to have his feet held to the fire. He got his part. He got to own up to. He was wrong. This is a bad situation. It's the house that Jack built as well, but specifically Kerissa continually tearing away at Jacob is an issue. They got an issue in their relationship, okay, where she tears him down and he acts out badly. Okay, this is a pattern. All right, so How could you do this to me again? How could you do this to me? And she giving him, ah, ah, ah. In walks the, accountant, and he wants to tell them about how he found out where the money was going. And they just looking at him. She later on, they together, and they at the house, and she forcing him to keep calling Tasha. Call her again. I want her to know we on her tail. I want her to be scared. He just calling and calling, and she won't answer. Call him again. Call him. I said, oh boy. Oh boy, so that's what's going on with them. When she walked in that door and she said that gold-plated hussy, I call her and she 3 Egyptian cotton sheets to the wind. I was like, girl, you best to read. Now, this is the Kerissa from season 1. I'm not sure why you want on Zora tail like you own Jacob tail, but okay. Let's talk about Charity real quick. So Patty Patterson sends her, I guess that's her worship leader, her music minister. He's supposed to be there going over the music for Lady Mayday with Charity. And he comes in and he's obviously a man who's in command, in control. He's a very confident individual. She thinks he's a hymnal salesman. I was like, girl, hymnals. Anyway, he tells her his name is Michael, and after they discuss the lineup for the worship service for Lady Mayday, he asks her to go to dinner. And she tells him she can't. She got to go and see about her son. He said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Patty Patterson didn't tell me you was married." And she said, "Well, I'm not anymore. It's nice that you think that those two things go together." And she says, I'm actually divorced." And he said he's sorry to hear that. And she said, "Well, actually, he's gay, so it was all for the best." I was like, "What? Why is you talking about that? Why is you telling that?" I don't understand why that was even in the conversation. Like, seemed like to me should have been something y'all talked about if y'all had started dating. You know what I mean? Like getting to know each other. Y'all just playing worship service, and you already trying to tell this man about every little inch of your life. This is what I'm saying about wearing it on your sleeve. Like it's your scarlet letter. Okay, I understand. I get it. It's a hard pill to swallow. She felt deceived and all of that. What he tells her, sorry that she was deceived. It was by deception. He's a deceiver. And I'm gonna pray again, pray for him and his sin and all of that. And Charity's kind of taken aback. Now she was smitten by the guy when the guy first sat down because he wanted to pray first before they got to discussing the whole order of service, worship service. And so she was smitten by that. He's a good looking man and he's wants to pray first, and she puts both hands up there and they hold them and pray. I was like, this is how people end up getting rubbed up against and inappropriate things happen. I don't think people should be doing a lot of touching in church. I know you're supposed to be hugging and holding on to one another and lifting each other up and passing the peace and all of that. But I'm gonna tell you, it's some real friendly situations that go on around in these churches, and it leads to inappropriate behavior. Now, so they hold their hands and praying, and she looking at him like, Lord, you done set me a praying man. I was like, First of all, he's kind of controlling, isn't he? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. The way he talks about your husband so freely. Like, where do you get off? Even if she had told you all that stuff, all you had to say is, wow, that's something. And go on about your business. But no, you got to condemn Kevin to Charity. Sound like a controlling person. Sounds like a manipulator to me. Later on, when she tucking baby Nathan in, he calling her. Now that's inappropriate too. Okay, you want to stop and pray, but at the same time, you calling this woman. Want to ask her. I didn't go to dinner. She was like, "Well, how come?" I was like, "What is going on here? How come?" He was like, "Well, you didn't want to go, and I think I'm gonna be here all week, so I thought maybe we could plan it and schedule it." She was like, "Oh, well, that would be nice." But I'm proud of Charity. I am. I'm proud of Charity. Charity's maturing. She is. And when he calls and asks her out for a second date, she says, "I just wanted to ask you something about what you said about Kevin earlier. That's my son's father. And I didn't like the way he just cut her off. He did deceive you, didn't he? He so that means he's a deceiver, isn't he? And why are you defending him anyway? I was like, oh, there it is. There it is. You deserve better, Charity. And she was like, you're right. Better from you. And she gets off the phone. I was like, amen, Charity. You did the right thing. You did the right thing because you can't just come in. You got to be careful that with men when it comes to that. And I used to watch a lot of ID channel, and you find this a lot in churches. You find a lot of men who gonna straighten you out, who gonna show you how to be a godly woman, how to be a godly wife, and they do that by controlling you, controlling what you wear, who you see, putting down people around you that would support you, and that type of thing. Him coming in the door talking about your son's father and dragging it. No, no, he's trying to run shit. He's trying to control shit. He's trying to control the narrative. And that ain't right. I'm proud of Charity. I am very, very proud of Charity. I really, really am. Okay, so that's Charity. Let's see, Bishop and Bishop and Patty done got into it. They looked like they was exchanging pleasantries and talking real sweet and nice to one another. But baby, it turned out to be ugly, a vicious, vicious little exchange of conversation where she was calling, she was asked which one of them is the donkey. Oh, he asked which one of them is the donkey, and she said neither, but you are the ass. I was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Bishop, you in unfriendly territory. You in your own church, baby, in your own church, and you got to dodge these arrows and slings, all these rocks being thrown. Bishop, baby, you in enemy territory. Look familiar, but it's enemy territory. And we see him. He walking through the church. He see Rochelle Cross in the office. And what are you doing here? And she was like, well, I'm here because of the legal defense fund. This is going to be our home office until we can find our own freestanding office. And he says, oh, okay, good to see you. And she said, is it true what they're saying? What do you mean there's so many rumors around here? I don't know. She says that there's a divorce, that you've been divorced. And he said, well, I don't. And congratulations. Well, I don't know if I want to everybody congratulating him. He don't want to take congratulations from nobody, namely Rochelle Cross. So she tells him that she wants to take him out for a little day drinking just to celebrate or commiserate, as it were. And he says, you know what? I would like that, especially after coming off the heels of talking to Patty Patterson. All right. So let's see. Then we see with him and Rochelle over at Percy's house, they drinking champagne and talking. He looking for a place to stay. He can't stay there. She gonna help him find a place. Or would you do that for me? Well, of course. She refills his champagne, and he says, "Oh, this goes down real easy." And she says, something about um this is the new beginning. He said, yours or mine? And she said, ours. I was like, oh, and they sitting there, he got his head to her head. They won't kiss. I don't know if it's what's going on, but it's this illusion of affection that they have that's weird. It gets really kind of old, old man. It's kind of old manish. I don't know. Their relationship is a little stale. It's the illusion of affection, illusion of intimacy. But you can just tell that she's got him wrapped around her finger. It's like he under the same spell Jacob was under with Tasha. So later on, after she leaves, we get to see that Grace comes by and tells him that she discovered that Rochelle Cross is really Rochelle James. Rochelle James is the daughter of the man that died in the fire that he paid Mac to start, and Basie Skank's sister. And Bishop, now after he was almost about to argue her down, when she bring up Rochelle Cross name, oh, he was on such a high after drinking and nuzzling with her all day. He was gonna get into Grace's ass about bringing up my boo. She got my loins on fire. How dare you say one unkind word about her? And when he found out she is really Rochelle James, baby, you couldn't have gave him $2. Okay, you couldn't have gave him $2, baby. I'm telling you, you couldn't have paid him for nothing, baby. His face was so tight and so molded and so cracked. Okay, he looking off. Yeah, you realize she's the Mickey freaking enemy because you know how base it was about it. So you can just imagine a sister, a woman. Ooh, 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 ooh. It's the beginning of the Mickey freaking end. Okay. But your leg is already caught in the bear trap now, Bishop. You just now feeling the pain, okay? All right, so that's Bishop. Let's talk about Lady May. Now, this is the most contrived part of this episode. This Grace and Lady May situation. Patty wants Grace to preach a leg of the seminar during the day. She's got another woman that is supposed to be preaching or speaking, and Patty don't like it. It's gonna be boring. We need Grace. Grace is gonna bring in the younger crowd, and Lady May is not sure. Now Patty got her all wrapped up. She's got her affirming herself, and when Corinne comes in and calls her first lady, she tells her, ain't no first lady here. This is Pastor Greenleaf. I was like, wow. And she telling her what to do with the service and who's going to be the speaker, and she's going to want to give up her spot so Grace can preach because Grace has got a mighty word and she feels it in the spirit. I was like, first of all, Patty, you overacting. One, two, what is you talking about? Grace is the I don't what is we I don't this family is fractured and splintered. Don't nobody really need to be speaking, but okay. Um, and when she leaves there talking with May, she tries to get May to agree to it. May don't want to agree to it. So she goes and takes Grace a cup of coffee and she talks to Grace, and her and Grace talking so friendly, and she wants um to help her with the legal fund, and I've got my own nonprofit and we'll double dip, and I can give to help. It's a good cause. If you behind it, I'll get behind it. And Grace is like, well, thank you. Let me ask you a quick question, Grace. What is it, Patty Patterson? And she says, what's going on with you and your mom? Grace doesn't say a word. Zips it up. Mom's the word. And Patty's like, never mind. Just send me an email about that legal defense fund donation, and she walks on off. So when she talking to Grace, after she done talked to Bishop, and she telling her she's got a trifold ministry. She sings, she preaches, and I forget what else she says she do. And just encouraging her to take over and get rid of Bishop. He running around here all lost and all of that. When Corinne sticks her head in, she tells her that Lionel is on the phone, Lionel Jeffries. And so Patty is looking like Lionel Jeffries. I know that ain't the same Lionel Jeffries. I was like, okay, so Patty know about Lionel too. All right, so she asks her, brings up Grace again. Let's talk about Grace again. And Lady May immediately ends it abruptly, gets up, gets her stuff, and walks out on the conversation like they not even having it anymore. Like, I don't even remember what you asked me. And Patty is looking bewildered. We see where Lady May goes up to the door at the hospice home where Jeffries is, and when he opens the door, she said, Lionel, what is it that you want? He said, I want to talk about my daughter. And she goes on in, he closes the door. Now, I guess we're supposed to assume that he means Grace. So, you know, first of all, just half an episode ago, you couldn't get Lady May to shut up about Grace. She had 50 bad things she wanted to say about Grace. Now, all of a sudden, neither one of them can say a mumbling word about each other to anybody else. Like, they both treating each other like they a secret. Their relationship is a secret when all they could do was talk about it. Now all of a sudden it's this great mystery, and Lionel is supposed to be cracking the mystery. Like, y'all tell me what y'all think. This episode was a little contrived to me. It really was much of nothing. We see where Rochelle is back at the house and she is boohoo crying. Jacob and those are calling. She's still drinking. Now, Rochelle had already been over there and threatened her and asked her what was going on. Why aren't you at Triumph? I quit. She talks about the brother. Your brother ain't nothing. Your brother, well, this is after Rochelle said, "Are you in love with Jacob?" No. Well, what if I am? Your brother left me and he's not coming back. He's dead. What makes you say that? What if he wasn't dead? Why isn't he here? She calls him a no account, and Rochelle just tells her, look, you best to tread lightly. You best to tread lightly and get your behind back over. And she tells her, you get out. You get out. You get out and you come back again. I'll call the police and I don't know what story I might tell him. Now, mind you, she looked like she has been rolled hard and hung up wet. She don't look like she Tennessee whiskey bad, because I promise you it looks a whole lot different. But she is all raggedy and disheveled, and she sees Rochelle out. Get out. And so when she's sitting there and Jacob and them calling her back to back to back, the doorbell ring and she think it's Rochelle again. She done snatched a lantern out the wall and she carrying it to the door and she supposedly gonna bash this woman upside the head, Rochelle, I mean, with this lantern. Rochelle is at the door. She slammed that door. I said, do you get out of here and don't you come back? And Rochelle said, and Basil Skanks sticks his head from around the door. Now his hair straight in this episode. He looking like Elder Barge. He comes sliding in and she's like, oh, like she had seen a ghost. And did y'all see where she went to put her hand on his face and he took her hand down? Took her hand down and backed her up against the wall. I heard you been a bad girl. I said, ooh, he act like he about to snap your neck, Miss Lady. He act like he is about to snap your neck, choke you out. No ma'am. Not in the house with them, girl. It's 2 against 1. It's 2 against 1. And you threatening to bust the whole scheme up? Girl. You should have went into hiding. Okay, and the episode ends right there. But y'all see what I'm saying about it being kind of contrived? Like, it's 3 more episodes. Let's see what they do with it. Y'all tell me what you think. Put it down below. Until next time, honeybees. Mwah, mwah, mwah.